told everyone I was going to a pool party earlier. They're like, "Where's that?" It's like, "No, it's a panel." I'm like,
You can do both.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alejandro de la Torre. The reason why I'm a moderator is because I've ran 2 major pools in the past, BTC.com and Poolin. Right now, I'm working for myself. I build containers and I build mining farms, mostly around Europe. And I would like to give to our special guests their opportunity to give their name, their company, and yeah.
Hi, my name is Michelle. I'm an advisor for Prasaga. We are a new native chain, and we're a hybrid model, POS and POW. We are offering mining and mining pools, and that's why I'm here. I've been in the crypto space, payment space since 2006, and then crypto since 2013. Really excited to be here. I'm a miner myself, so really excited.
Hello, everyone. My name is Denny. I'm here again. I'm the director of business development for Poolin. Also currently taking charge of site management and operation.
Hi, everybody. Name's Aaron Foster, business development with Luxor, one of 2 North American-based Bitcoin mining pools. Great to be here, first panel, so thanks for having me.
All right, thank you. So let's start off with a very difficult question. When do we start moving on to SV2, Stratum version 2?
That's a very hard one. But
so Stratum version 2 is basically an upgrade in the mining protocol. Right now we're using Stratum version 1. Most of the pools, Luxor as well. Luxor is a sort of hybrid of a bunch of pools, but and SV2 brings a lot of benefits to the mining pool mining industry. However, there's a lot of things that we have to sort of understand and unlock before we get there. But I think it's a good move for the pool industry as a whole. Luxor, would you like to say something?
It's a strategy. We're always going back and forth whether we're going to switch to V2. I think for now, Luxor's position is V1 is something that we're exploring and monitoring. We don't necessarily think it's something that we need to switch to in the immediate term, but it's something that we're always kind of evaluating with some of the other products that we're building out.
Exactly. So, go ahead.
Yeah, I think we are determining to go with the industry. Of course, when there's updates, you always wanted to use new technology, to the sense it makes sense. And so when we're defining our mining pools, that would be one of our consideration.
So what are the biggest challenges as a pool nowadays? There's been, trends across the years. What do you guys feel is the biggest obstacle or challenge for you today? Look, it's free. There's not.
yeah,
It's not.
I'll get started. So for us, we believe that right now, because there's a huge competition going on in the pool industry, and you will see a lot of pools going to price war. This is something that definitely we don't want to see, because for us, we position the mining pool as the foundation of the whole ecosystem of especially for Bitcoin, especially for the proof of work consensus system. And then by going to price war, that means that first that will prevent more and more energetic and also innovative startups in the pool sector to come into the business. And then the second, you will see people, who are running the pool without the zero pool fees suffer from that, severe competition, which is not a good thing for job creation, not a good thing for innovation. And third thing is that, especially in the bear market, for bear market, and also for the pools who are doing zero pool fees with PPS plus, the pay per share plus, or the full pay per share payout system, which means that they will bear a huge risk of luck, and that will be a potential risk of loss for them as well. And then yeah, that's my.
Luxor?
Like we're always evaluating. Like it's basically a race to zero when it comes to pool fees. We're constantly asked about it. Some of our competitors offer 0% pool fees, but I think what you're seeing now, and we've talked about in previous panels, is you're seeing mining pools just really diversify as to the product line that they're offering, and that's around, as an example on Slush Pool is brains, firmware, ASIC brokerage in the case of Luxor, hosting. And some things like hash rate derivatives is something that we're actively working on, but just really kind of building out, like using that, like kind of what Denny said, is really the mining pool becomes like the hub. Now you're starting to see some spokes start to appear on the perimeter as kind of a complementary business line to kind of, go to that zero fee environment. But at least when you look at kind of like the full stack of what a mining pool can offer, I mean, we're the very end of the stack when it comes to the revenue side of things, but we want to be able to offer that those pieces underneath as well, and that's what I think each one of us as a mining pool is actively building out as well. So
I think as a new proof of work system, some of the biggest challenges competition. Competition with Bitcoin and other more blue chip currency. Two, another challenge is community, right? I'm a Chia miner, and there are major community really involved in that coin, and so we're building that community. Looking for validators and miners to mine our coin, and of course, making sure that we incentivize everyone so that they can frequently get their rewards, and making sure that the balance between transaction fee and then also mining rewards are fair.
Great answers. Where do you see the pool business evolving? Like, we all know, I'm also in agreement with that 0% fees just doesn't seem very attainable. I think the pool business has a lot of people working for them, and we want to maintain their jobs, and also we want to continue the innovation, as Denny said. But besides that, let's look at the future. Where do you see the pool business moving to? Do you see it expanding to more coins? Do you see it? Where do you see it in the next year?
I think there will be more pool parties. People will actually bring their bikinis and their swim trunks there, and I think there will be more people mining as people learn about it. I think in the community we've seen just normal non-crypto people mining, right, which is awesome. And I would love to see the coins expanded, not just to the core coins, but to other coins as well.
In terms of how the pool position themselves in the future, first we think that the mining pool are in a better position to pivot into other businesses. So that's what we're doing right now, and that's a lot of the pools are doing. Some of them are trying to create a community, and for us, we have been expanding into self-mining operation and also immersion cooling solutions, and also potentially more in the future. And in terms of the pools are also will be once the market has been warm up a little bit, you will see pools to dedicate more time and effort into how to better serve our customers with better services, with better tools, with better settings and customer experiences, and potentially some sub applications to help the mining community to achieve a better goal.
I would just also wanted to add software. I would also love to see better UX in the mining software, just so that it's just really easy to mine and to join in mining pools.
Like one of the things that Luxor is particularly focused on right now is one aspect, the pool side of things, and building out new features and whatnot to support mining and hosting providers. Because I think what a lot of people think of mining pool is just a platform you connect your miners to, you get paid your Bitcoin. But at the end of the day, we're a software provider. We're providing tools for whether it's you're doing self-mining or hosting providers to manage clients. Like we're building out all that software stack. But one of the things that we're starting to direct a lot more attention to is, especially for larger miners and public companies especially is a way to kind of how can you treat hash rate as a commodity? And when you start to kind of look at that independently, you start to get into hash rate derivatives, and that's something that we're quite focused on these days. Some of you may have stopped by the booth earlier. Matt, our head of derivatives, was there, and he's responsible for kind of building up that trading desk and looking at hash rate as a commodity. And as mining pools, as refiners of hash rate is kind of what we call it. We're well positioned to kind of be in that derivative space where we can match buyers and sellers of hash rate in something like a forward contract. So we're pretty excited about that internally, and I think that's like the next logical step for buyers and sellers of hash rate, which effectively mining pools are. So.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So hash rate as a commodity. I mean, it more or less is a commodity if you think about it. Of course, the commodity is securing the Bitcoin network and doing what it's supposed to do. Another good question would be, there's a lot of, not so much nowadays, but there's been always a sort of feeling, I would say, that Bitcoin mining pools centralize the hash rate. What can you give me as big pools here? Can you tell me what's your answer to that? Is that a correct notion?
That's a interesting question, because people might have the misunderstanding that Bitcoin mining pools are centralized the power, centralized the computing the hash rate, the hash power. But if you look closely, why the goal, the intention why we have the pool, is because if we don't have the mining pool, will be the few of them, the big players in the market, few of the institutional players in the market who take over most of the hash rate. And what happens for those individual miners, the chance for them to mine a Bitcoin by solo mining or by other small grouping activities is going to be so small. And then, which means that the whole network is still not being secured by having the hash rate, a huge amount of hash rate with to support it. And then, in one way, the direct visually you will see that the pool is centralizing all the hash rate, but in fact, we're trying to help with the decentralization process.
I've been in the space since 2017. It's a common theme about centralization of hash rate. I think a key indicator is obviously the China mining ban. We saw that hash rate come off, and it just relocated to different parts, physically and the actual hash rate. So it's almost like a moot point at this point. We just keep rehashing the centralization. The reality of it is a mining pool is just software. So for somebody else to spin up that software somewhere else geographically, it's quite easy to do. For any competent developer, but I'm oversimplifying it. Not to say it's easy to spin up a mining pool, but it can be done. So there is, when you look at what mining pools are, and for any miners that are in the crowd, it takes 2 seconds to switch mining pools. It can be scripted. You can mine on different pools every 30 seconds if you wanted to. So the moat there, people to switch hash rate, there's nothing preventing you from doing it. So the centralization of hash rate in a geographical area is kind of a moot point in my opinion. So
I think some people don't have access to pool parties, like a lot of us do, and I think our goal is to reach 7 billion people, and I think in that sense, I think decentralization of that is really important. Certainly, some people have computers, but other people have better computers and better resources, and mining pools basically pulls together resources, right? We wanted to see people in Africa, in Turkey, in Southeast Asia, being able to mine as well. I think in terms of geographic location, we could have it more decentralized, even though centralized elements are a part of that.
Well, one important point that I always like to mention is that, a lot of the miners that are connected to the pools are decentralized, right? So at the end of the day, okay, the pool might be in one place, but the mining is definitely decentralized. So, and as you mentioned,
I'm curious to know, Alejandro, you've obviously been in the space quite a while, so
too long.
But I feel like in your time in the space that you've actually probably witnessed the actual decentralization of hash rate as we know it. Because I feel like even like 2 years ago, like we weren't talking about mining in like Paraguay or the amount of that's being done in Kazakhstan and Russia. Like it was primarily China focused, So. Sorry, I shouldn't be interviewing you, but like.
What's the question?
It's like how have you seen the decentralization progress from your lens?
Sure. So the distribution and decentralization of Bitcoin mining has only increased in the. It's been increasing since the very beginning, since the creation of an ASIC miner, which basically created large hash rate clusters. We had an evolution from mainly China. The reason why there was an evolution in China is because the Chinese had all the right components to create the ASIC mining machines. So of course they had very cheap electricity because of the Sichuan and the Three Gorges Dam. And then in essence, what has happened over the years is that there's been an exodus and a spread of hash rate across the globe. Wherever there is cheap electricity, there's definitely a Bitcoin miner. And this whole entire point, as you said, is moot because the service, sure, it's a centralized service, but the miners are across the whole globe. They're everywhere. And all it takes for a miner to change a pool is maybe 2 minutes of work. It's basically just put it into the command prompt, so to speak. So, the hash rate is decentralized.
And because Luxor, we actively participate in, we have an ASIC trading desk, so we help miners, or miners actually procure ASICs as it's a large part of our business now. So we can see based on the inquiries that we get and some of the sales that we make, like we're not just selling to North American clients. We've sent stuff to Africa, Australia, definitely down to South America. So like we're like not only from a pool perspective, but also from just an ASIC resale perspective, where we're physically sending these, so we can actually see the decentralization that way. So.
Great. Another important thing to consider is what type of tools can pools provide to help clients or mining farms, better. It's like what is the best way to position yourself as a pool to a new client, right? You got. Go ahead.
So as a pool, you're in a better position to hear all the voices from the clients, from your community. And for us, we are helping in a few ways. First is inside the pool software to have more tools to help with the clients. One way we do it is that we have a tool called the hash rate alert, which a lot of people are also having. So you can easily be able to monitor your hash rate conditions when you're working remotely without having a laptop on hand. And we have other tools like the mining historical calculator, where you can calculate your historical or projective mining profit just by putting in your specs and putting in your inputs. And then you can see a full breakdown on your return on investment or on your risk of cost and all the other detailed systematic data. And then besides that, we are also coming up with because we also do self-mining, so we are also coming up with some of the software and tools that can help the people, our customer base, to be better at the mining operation. One thing we did is a proxy, which can significantly lower the network bandwidth, which means that with a large scale institutional scale mining operation, you can have the requirement for the internet bandwidth and the internet structure will be easier for you to go with. And the third thing we did is recently we have been actively developing a software called Pooling Management Software, which is a Pooling Management Platform, PMP, which is a full-stop mining operation software where you can configure, you can reset, you can monitor the temperature, the fan, and also the water temperature the temperature inlet and temperature outlet and everything else on the same platform. So it's that's something we want to achieve to help the mining operation to be easier.
Yeah, so for our mining pool, definitely, when there, here's some of the things that, we care about. When you're traveling, you could still mine. So some way to kind of configure your mining pool and your minings just so that, when you're, because, we go to a lot of conferences, a lot of crypto people do, right? But how do you mine when you're remotely? Then also having a dashboard that's easy to use with full transparency, so people know what the rates are, what the fees are, how long they're gonna get something, because people care about rewards. And then like UX, that would be easier to use. Forecasts, how long you will get something. I think those are really cool tools that we're thinking about.
Luxor, do you want to add?
I mean, we're all like mining pool dashboards. They're generally we're all doing the same thing. I mean, there's
Sure.
nothing super innovative, to be quite honest.
Your stuff is innovative.
It is quite innovative, I would say, but like it's when you compare it side by side, it's all the general, like they're all the same. I mean, you monitor your revenue, whether you're
Yeah.
PPLNS, FPS, like where you're gonna see kind of improvements is like the offshoots of that. Like Luxor has hash rate index, it's a data insights platform, so now you can connect the ASIC trading desk side of things is going to be connected to the dashboard. So not only are you going to be able to see your mining pool revenue, but if you purchase a miner through us as an example, you're going to be able to see that real-time ROI. It's Guzman smiling in the crowd, but we're going to have that next week, right, Goose? But it's really those kind of features to help manage your farm, getting down to that level. It's not just going to be a dashboard where you see a graph that's going to show your revenue that way. So it's what we spend a lot of time on is education, I'd say. So like when you talk about features, you can talk about customer service. We spend a lot of time with our clients, big and small, whether you have 5 miners or 500 or 5,000, just educating you on how a mining pool works primarily, how the payment methodologies work in a lot of cases so that you can better understand it. And we feel like as a mining pool, it's kind of our duty to kind of educate, because we are the ones like paying you your revenue, through your hash rate. But it's an important aspect of what we do. So we're not just a software you plug in, you magically get Bitcoin at the end of the day. We want to become a partner, build those relationships with you, help you overcome whatever those issues might have, whether it's equipment, hardware, whatever it may be, and go from that. So.
I just also want to add that we're also an operating system, a decentralized operating system. So we have utility, right? I think as part of a dashboard, we are going to let folks know like what they're doing, what they're mining for, like what is the end result of their contribution, right? So I think that's going to be really important as well. Besides education and dashboard and, and faster tools. I actually downloaded something that makes my mining faster. And it helped a lot. And, and that was outside of the dashboard, right? Just really having special tools like that expedite mining, really, really help miners because it motivates us.
Great points. Another thing that I've heard a lot about. I'm not sure if you guys have an opinion on this, but what do you think about empty blocks? Do you guys like empty blocks?
My boss is telling me I shouldn't answer this.
What, you want to make it a little bit interesting?
Guzman, have we mined an empty block?
Yeah.
No.
Empty blocks. Let me just give a bit of information. Empty blocks are basically so the pool software works in a way where it is in the interest of basically the participant, in this case pool, to mine a block faster than their competitor. And sometimes that means without adding the transactions. And a lot of people don't like that, but it really is just free market economics. It's up to the pool to decide to want to add the transaction or not, right? It's their lost, revenue essentially. But there's nothing wrong with empty blocks, in my opinion, of course. Yeah. Of course, it doesn't happen that much. And let's move on to the next topic. I think that's a good.
But how about like bad blocks? I mean, don't you like just delete those and then just start mining again?
Orphan blocks. Yeah. Do you have opinion on orphan blocks?
No, I mean sometimes when you delete bad blocks, it just mine faster for the next one. That's something I noticed.
Yes, the Bitcoin network, it's a self-sustaining infrastructure protocol, I should say, which maintains the security of the network. And the pools play an important role, an extremely important role. And I think the pool business is going to continue to move forward. I think things will change, in my opinion. I think the days of 0% fees are soon to be over, especially now with the bear market in full blast.
Why do you think that? I'm curious.
Well, because a lot of the most of the pools that had 0% fees were just paid for by VCs, and I think at the end of the day, at the very least, you have to pay for the infrastructure costs or the upkeep cost of the software, right? It's not a free service, although it's been commoditized, whatever. But I do think the fees will go back to a certain level where it's reasonable for every single party, where at least the pool can pay their bills and maybe buy a beer or a pizza here and there, right? Like, what do you guys think about that?
Well, I think it's about how well you run your data, how well you run your nodes, and how can you to have achieve better efficiencies to capture the data from the network. And then the other way is that how can you it's about how much you share with other pools to in terms of information to get together on that process. And then for us, we have been doing that for a long time, and we have been establishing more nodes all across the world to have that data efficiency coming. And we have also been collaborating with a few other pools regarding these issues, and that's the way how to prevent, not prevent, but how to keep the risk minimal for empty block or orphan block.
Exactly. Yeah, so the latency between node and the miner is extremely important, and pools provide a very strong input in that and a very highly technical understanding of how to do that. A lot of if there was no pools, most people would be doing solely mining, and that would be very difficult. So the pools play an important role. Luxor?
0%, like we don't offer 0% fees. We'd love to, but to your point, I think what a lot of people don't understand is unless you have something to offset that, there is still those infrastructure fees. You got to pay your devs, you got to pay your Google Cloud, whatever, all those software type related fees. So theoretically, it is impossible to offer 0% fees. You need some sort of tool to be able to offset that. So yet to be seen. I'm curious to know if some of those current 0% fee providers type pools will revert back. I would be very curious to see, but
we'll see.
Yeah, I hope you're right.
Oh, yeah.
I think for us, since we're a new proof of work and hybrid, we wanted to incentivize people to mine and validate. So we're gonna balance that with attraction, miner attraction, and also building that community. So I think that's very important first. Because we're not fully a pool company. We're a whole entire ecosystem. I think that's a little bit different.
Okay. So we have 1 minute left. Any closing statements, guys? Any questions in the audience? Last question. 2, 3, 4 questions. Not everyone at once. Please. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your time. That was the pool party. On to next year.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.